Good morning, students. So hope all are fine. Congratulations that you have been promoted to 9th class. So today we are going to start our 9th class biology. The first chapter is cell, its structure and its function. So what is cell? Cell is the basic unit of life. All living organisms are made up of cell. So we know whether it is a small or a big, any living organism is made up of cell. So that's why cell is called as basic unit of life. Who discovered cell? Robert Hooke discovered cell. Anton von Leeuwenhoek discovered the microscope. By that, to study cell, it became easier to study further about the cell. So the first cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. Anton von Leeuwenhoek discovered microscope. His inventions helped cell to study in detail. You have two more scientists named Selden and Scamp. Selden and Scamp. Selden and Scamp. These are two scientists. Selden told that all the plants are made up of cells. Plants are made up of cells. And Scamp was a scientist who told that all the animals are made up of cell. So Selden told that all plants are made up of cell, and Scamp told that all the animals are made up of cell. So they together proposed the cell theory that you will study in the last in this chapter last. So Selden and Scamp proposed cell theory. Cell theory. So that's about introduction of cell. So what is the structure? Whether all the cells will have same structure? No. Cells will have different structure. Some are oval in shape, some are cubical in shape, some are irregular. So many shapes. Some are oval in shape. Sorry, I have written. Next, some are circular in shape. So there are many shapes of the cell. And size. Most cells are microscopic. Means you can see most of the cells with the help of microscope. But can you tell me which cell you can see with the naked eye? You have studied in your 8th class. So ostrich egg. Ostrich egg is the largest cell. Largest cell which you can see with your naked eye. మీ కళ్ళతో మీరు చూసే cell అనేది ostrich. Most of the cells you can see with the help of microscope only. Now, in your previous class you have studied about the cell. So suppose you think this is a cell. There are several organelles present inside the cell. There are several organelles present inside the cell. What are they called? So what are they called? They are called as cell organelles. The different parts present in the cell. The different parts present in the cell are called as cell organelles. The different parts present in the cell are called as cell organelles. So in the previous class we have studied about cell wall, cell membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. In this class we will study each and every cell organelle in detail. Okay. So first recall that if you want to see each and every organelle in the cell, what you will use? Suppose if you are seeing the cell with the help of compound microscope or light microscope. We have three types of microscope: compound, light, electronic microscope. If you see a cell with the help of compound or light microscope, then you can see only some big structures present in the cell, like you can see cell wall, cell membrane, nucleus, or mitochondria, cytoplasm. But there are some small structures like ribosomes are present, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex. You can see these organelles with the help of only electron microscope. Okay. So, with the help of electron microscope, the cell was observed and each and every organelle present in the cell was studied in very detail, and what are its functions are given by the scientists. So, in this chapter we will study most of the cell organelles present in the cell. Next. So, first, how many types of cells you can classify? Cells. How many types of organisms you can classify? First going, how many types of organisms are there? Based on the cells. Based on cells, how do you classify? How do you classify the organisms? You can classify based on the number of cells as unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular and multicellular. So, based on the number of cells present in an organism, you can classify the organisms as unicellular and multicellular. Uni means single. Only single cell is present in the body of this organism. Multi, several cells are present in the body of the organism. If you see the amoeba, it has only single cell. Paramecium, it has only single cell. This single cell will do all the life process, all the processes, whatever the organisms do, all that activities are controlled by this single cell. That's why it is called as unicellular. Means this amoeba contains only one cell in its body. This cell will control all the functions of the amoeba. Coming to multicellular, you have so many cells. If you see human being, you have trillions of, nearly 700 trillions of cells are present in our body. So, each and these cells together form tissue, and tissues together form organs, organs together form organ system. So, they are multicellular, means so many cells are present. Now, coming to typical cell. What is a typical cell? What is a typical cell? Typical cell. So, typical cell is a generalized diagram. It is a generalized diagram of a cell containing all the cell organelles. So, typical cell is a generalized diagram of a cell containing all the cell organelles. Means whatever the cell organelles present in that particular organism, that are all the cell organelles are represented in a typical cell. It is a generalized diagram. For example, if you see a plant cell. So, if you take a plant cell, if you take a plant cell, Generally, the leaves and the stem, which are green in color, have chloroplast in them. But the roots, they does not have chloroplast in them. But in a typical cell, all the plant cell organelles are represented. Means whatever the cell organelles the plant has is represented in the typical cell. It is just a diagram, but to study it, whatever the cell organelles present in the plant, they are represented in the diagram. That is called as typical cell. It may be a plant cell or animal cell. Whatever the cell organelles present in the animals are represented in the diagram. That is called as typical cell. So you have your diagrams in the textbook, typical cell diagram textbook. Please refer that. So you will find all the cell organelles present in it in the typical cell. So see, understood? So roots does not have chlorophyll, but in typical cell we will represent the chlorophyll also. So whatever the cell organelles present in the plant will be given in the diagram of typical cell. So అన్ని cell organelles మొత్తం ఉండే different cell organelles ఏవైతే ప్లాంట్ లో ఉంటాయో అవన్నీ మనం typical cell diagram లో చూపిస్తాం. దాన్నే typical cell అంటాం. Okay. Now coming to the plant cell and animal cell. Plant cell. First we will discuss about plant cell. What is plant cell? Plant cell is a normal cell which is present in plant. Plant cell is made up of, it is covered. The cell, plant cell is covered. Plant cell is covered by cell wall. This is very important point to remember. Plant cells have cell wall. Animal cells does not have cell wall. Plant cells have cell wall to withstand the pressure of water. Some internal pressures will be there. So to withstand that turgor pressure, plants have a cell wall. Plants have a cell wall. This is a cell. So outer they will have a rigid cell wall. They will have a rigid, tough cell wall. This cell wall is absent in the animal cell. Very important point. The difference between plants and animal cells is plant cells have cell wall. Animal cells does not have cell wall. After cell wall, the cell membrane is present. Cell membrane is present. Okay. After cell wall, this is cell wall. This is cell wall. After cell wall, cell membrane is present. Cell membrane is present in every cell. Plant cell, animals, or any cell. Cell membrane is commonly present in all the cells. So the cell wall is present in plant cell. After cell wall, the next one is cell membrane. Cell membrane is present in the plant cells. Next one is, most of the plant cell is occupied by the vacuole. Most space in the plant cell is occupied by vacuole. Is occupied by vacuole. So suppose this is a plant cell. So most of the plant cell is occupied by the vacuole. Vacuole. What is the function of vacuole? We will study again. But the main function of vacuole is to store food products, food excretory products, some proteins, for some waste material. So whatever essential for the plant, and what are some waste products also stored in the vacuole. So basically most of the space in the plant cell is occupied by the vacuole. In animal cells also vacuoles are present, but they are very small in structure, and in plants mostly one vacuole is present which is big. But in animal cells there are 1 to 2 vacuoles, not exactly one, there may be 2 or 3, that depends upon the cell. But in plants mostly one vacuole is present, that is very big one, and it occupies most of the space in the plant cell. Now coming to the next part. So you have vacuole in middle, mostly in the middle of the plant cell. Next you have nucleus. Nucleus is called as heart of the cell. Nucleus is called as heart of the cell. Who discovered nucleus? Robert Brown. You studied it in your previous class. Robert Brown discovered the nucleus. Nucleus contains DNA, the genetic material. Nucleus contains DNA, which is the genetic material. So Robert Brown discovered nucleus. We will study in detail about nucleus also. So every cell contains nucleus. So all the plant cells contains nucleus. Next, plastids are present. Plastids are present. What are plastids? So we will study about plastids, but to know what are plastids, they are the pigments which give color to the plant. Green color. Plant is green in color because of plastids. Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a plastid. So these plastids give color to the plant. So plastids are present in plants, but plastids are absent in animals. Plastids are absent in animals. This is about the plant cell. Now coming to animal cell. Same. So animal cell, what you know? Animal cell. Animal cell have cell wall? No. No cell wall is present. No cell wall is present. Okay. Animal cell is made up of first cell membrane. Cell membrane is present. Cell membrane is present. Vacuoles are small. Vacuoles are small. And they are present anywhere. Present in plant cell, vacuole is mostly present in the center. But in animal cell, it's not in center. They can be present anywhere. Okay. Next, coming to nucleus. Nucleus is the biggest. Nucleus is the biggest cell organelle. Okay, biggest and important cell organelle present in the animal cells, which contains the genetic material. Next, so plastids are absent. Plastids, because animal cell does not have any colors. Plastids are absent. Plastids are absent in animal cell. Plastids are absent in animal cell. Next, centromeres. Centromeres is something related to the formation of new cells, centrosomes, or that are present in the animal cells, that are absent in the plant cells. So still some more parts are there, but basically plant cell and animal cells are same. Some parts are present in the plant cell and some parts are absent in the animal cells. So we will study each and every part in detail. Okay, thank you.